Hi there, I'm Laura Warren, and I am a psychic medium. This is the first interview that I have done, but I really want to start introducing you to more people that work in this field and sometimes work a little bit differently than what I do, but we all complement each other, and I just feel like it's a really good time for us all to come together. So this is Kimberley Arseneault of Soul's Desire Coaching. She is a certified life coach and can do just about anything in the healing field, and I've been so blessed not only to have a connection with her, but to have her in my life as my life partner. So this is a really special this is a really special first for us to actually do an interview like this, and to share with you a little bit of our world and some of the stuff that's going on with us. We're going to talk about Kim's work and how that can really help people right now, especially now. But we're also going to talk about some things that are coming up for us. Kim's got some exciting stuff, and together we're working on a podcast. So it's going to be more light-hearted, I feel. So Kim and Laura, or Down the Rabbit Hole with Kim and Laura, is the title. And we do often go down the rabbit hole with our conversations. So it should be quite interesting, and so you can stay tuned for that. And I'm going to put all the links down below in this description for Kim's website, so you can get in touch with her email, all her contact information. So I just want to get started. So Kim, I know all about you, but can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, sort of how did you even get to this place of being a life coach? And I know your story, and I've always been fascinated by it. So yeah, just maybe tell us a little bit about how all this happened. How you get to this place?
Well, I would say that number one, I've been an entrepreneur all my life. So I think I was 10 years old and I started making money and thought, this is good. Make money, buy things you want to buy, or do things you want to do. So I think that was very empowering at a young age for me. And I think I just realized that right off the hop. And I had my first child when I was 21. So I didn't like somebody else taking care of him. And right away I decided I wanted to be my own boss so that I could pick and choose when I worked. And it was very empowering to be my own boss. It wasn't easy, because if you don't work, you don't get paid. But I found it very empowering. And so my first endeavor was I was Kim's helping hands. And I pretty much did whatever needed to be done with whoever needed it. And it worked up to being a very big business that I worked for a lot of very reputable people in the area, had a very good name, and really I just loved everything I've done. So that was crack filling, paint and wallpaper, and you name it. And then I fell into some hard times with my own personal health, and legit was talking to a neurologist that said, no, my life is over, all the big scary stuff, and that life as I knew it, and I had to change, and blah, blah, blah.
Doctors have a way of scaring us.
Yeah, so really, and it was devastating in the moment, because I can remember going into their bathroom, thank God nobody's seen me, but I legit was having a little meltdown where my hands are on the wall, and I was like, what the heck? And then something clicked in, and I just had a shift in my own awareness in the moment, and I thought, pardon me, but who the hell does he think he is? He can't tell me how I can live or what I can do and what I can't do. So I right away got a new doctor, and I just decided, and it's funny because it's all the little things you hear that you're not supposed to hear. And my new doctor, I could hear him when I left his office, because he did tell me the same thing as the first doctor, that I would need surgery and that I have a 50-50 chance of being paralyzed because I had, 8 herniated discs. But I told him, I said, don't tell me that ever again. Don't tell me that I'm going to need the surgery, because I'm going to find a way to not have the surgery. So when I went to the washroom, I heard him on his tape recorder saying, very positive 38-year-old, blah, blah, blah. And I just thought, that's right, I am. And I'm going to find a way and figure this out. And I thought, even when I went for physio, in my head, I thought, if I can see myself doing it, then I can do it. And then it was
So I'm just going to stop you for a second, because I heard you say that you saw this neurologist, and there was this huge percentage that I can't remember exactly what it was, that you were going to be paralyzed if you had this surgery.
50-50.
So 50-50. Wow.
Yeah.
So in that moment, to have that like awareness to just go, wait a second, I don't want the surgery, and I have the power to fix this. I have the power to heal this.
Absolutely.
Like, that's a huge turning point.
Yeah. And it was just like, I'm grateful for it, because in my life I've always had these things happen that were very big and very powerful. And I think I've always known since I was a very young child that I'm always going to be okay. I'm never going to know it all, and that's okay too. And that I'm not afraid to grow and learn, and all the experiences I've had have just made me a better person. And I've had more, I've loved having the experiences. So I'm always good with that stuff.
So how did you treat yourself? Because I know like there was I know there's a lot of things that happened in between now and then. I mean, obviously, you know, a lot of time has passed, but how did you get into the field? Because you really moved through a time of holistic health.
Oh, absolutely.
Teaching holistic health.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
So basically, after the positive doctor had a chat with me, I left his office and I just decided that I was going to, number one, take care of my body, and number two, take care of my mind. And I took a course in Reiki level 1, and it was kind of like the night before I had this vision, and it was like profound, and then I followed through with it and did everything. It was like a ritual, like I was cleansing my whole self, and I was preparing myself for this attunement. And again, totally off the wall, a new thing for me. My family totally didn't believe in any of that stuff. And for me, it was like somebody just took my hand and put it on the universe as if I could feel the heartbeat. And it was like something just changed. And I knew that I had in my hands the ability to do whatever I needed. And I struggled in the beginning because people would question me so much on it. And, well, how can you do Reiki to yourself? And the truth is, I still do it every single day, every morning, every night. I connect with myself. You know, there's a lot of prayer involved in this work, and, you know, everybody has their opinions about prayer, but really it doesn't matter. Prayer's prayer, and it works, right? So I would work on myself every day, and about 6 months in, I was really feeling a lot better, and people were noticing it. And it was even funny that my energy on every level had been changing, and I was hugging people. So I've always been a hugger, but I was hugging even more.
Oh, you haven't had a hug unless you've had a Kimmy hug.
Then that's what people say. They want a Kimmy hug. So even when I would go into my family's home, I'd be like, how you doing? Big hug, you know, and people are like, what the hell's happening to Kim? Because I've always been positive, but I was even more positive. And it's because I was in the driver's seat. I was the one taking full responsibility for my life and saying, you know, what's really wrong and what can I do about it? But, you know, the truth of all that is, we all know that in healing, there's lots more going on than what we care to admit, right? So I get into this work, and I opened my practice full time. It was in 2006, massive spiritual shift. And I think that if we go back, we can find out there's lots of people in this work and in these fields that would say that something profound happened to them in 2006, because it was a big year for that, just like it's a big year now for this. So I started doing really well, and it just kept propelling me to do more things. So I would do reflexology, because in my mind I knew that the healing field was exploding, but not enough people trusted it. So I did reflexology, I did cranial, did a ton of different courses, and, and I kind of came in the back door. And I went in front of a board and was approved to be a naturopathic therapist. And I've been doing that since full-time, since 2009. And even through all of that and our relationship, as anybody that knows us knows, we've certainly been the tsunami that hit our family, and, you know, we made a different choice to be together, and that caused a ripple effect. And a tsunami is the perfect way to explain it, because it was massive. It hit us all hard, and
we didn't see it coming.
Yeah, we didn't see it coming. So we didn't know how to respond to people that were, you know, attacking us. But it's it's a beautiful thing, and I love where we're at, and we're finally to a place where I feel like we're both ready to kick a little bit of ass in the world by helping people, empower more people to do what their passion is. And I think that's what led me to coaching. Was through the pandemic, I couldn't work. And for me, somebody who's worked since they were 10 years old, that was like devastating. I was like, oh God, what am I going to do with myself? So I took the opportunity to go back to school and to be retrained for something else. And I've always loved speaking, and I've done a fair share of that over the years and done well at that, been received very well. So I just thought that what a perfect opportunity to take this time. And I had the time because I go back and forth to New Brunswick and work, and I work in Halifax as well, but I didn't have full-time work. So this was a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, I'm like, I love where things are going, and I mean, I've been watching you all this time, so I'm watching the progression, but I just love it because I think, from the moment I think I met you, I could tell you were so authentic that there was no way that anybody could get away with their bullshit around you. And it's so funny that now your niche in coaching is like, hey, you're tired of your BS? Like, you weren't ready for change? You're tired of your own, shit storm that you're in? Like, give me a call.
Let's do something about that.
We'll shift your perspective. Yeah. So I love that I've been watching like this progression and this growth. And I think, all of us, we can choose not to grow. We can choose just to stay the same, keep life exactly the same way. But I think what the pandemic's really taught us is that you can't just stay the same. Like, you've got to learn to roll with the punches, to be flexible and adjust. And that's what's coming for us, really. Like, time to make change your friend. And if you need help with that, Kim's the person to call. So I did want to ask you though, like, how do you know, like, how do people know that you're the right coach for them? Like, what kind of people would be the best people to call you?
Well, I think anybody that's ready for a transformation in their life, because I think that, especially with COVID, people are really stuck. And it happened to me too, because I actually am super extroverted. I've built all my businesses on getting myself physically out there and introducing myself to the world. So it's kind of put us in this uncomfortable position where I feel like I was almost pushed into a corner until I had to kind of fight my way out, and it wasn't all pretty. Believe me, this woman didn't see me she got to see all the sides of me as I struggled and fought through all the uncomfortableness of trying to do this like this online, because I'm a very personal person. So I love to talk. I love to interact with people. I love life. I love the world. I love observing people. I people watch. So I think that anybody that's ready for a shift, I've owned my own business. So I think that my niche is about, really that's my true self. It's like, are you tired of your own bullshit? Then how about having a different perspective? And coaching is really about, it's just a co-creative relationship between you and your client. And you know that your client is the boss. They're the one that knows themselves. They're the expert on themselves. It's just, you're just somebody holding up a mirror, asking questions, being a good listener. And I have to be honest, I really love that I've had the opportunity to develop that other part of myself as well, because not all of us, we can be good speakers, but are we good listeners? And I don't know if I've always been as good a listener as I've been forced to be. And I'm very excited about that, because I use coaching in my everyday life with people all the time. I sometimes worry about my poor wife here, that she knows when I'm doing it, and I try not to, and I absolutely want to have her permission to do that, but I do find it very valuable. So I think anybody ready to make a change, anyone tired of their own bullshit, no matter how that bullshit looks, because for all of us, it's different. And I think it's just a powerful place to be. And I think that I've had a lot of experience in life through having my own businesses and some very versatile, like completely opposite work, to be painting and crack filling and cleaning, and to go into hands-on therapy where you're touching people and dealing with things. And the thing I love about coaching versus therapy is that as a coach, I'm not here to fix your problems. I'm not here to diagnose you and tell you or give you advice. I'm here to empower you to be the best you can be, and to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And I think that's the biggest key to this, is that there's not the pressure as there is in therapy, to be honest, because people are always looking to Laura and I, because we are who we are. They're always looking to us for advice on all aspects of their life, which we're super grateful that they feel that way about us. But because of the pandemic, and I think because of the large number of people that are really hurting right now, I think our work is even more important. And I think that it's even more important that we get out there like this and talk to people about, hey, I know you're not feeling okay, but how can a change in your perspective help you get up every day in a better way and not carry that big backpack full of rocks? You know, grab the survival pack that has everything you need in it. Don't grab the heavy backpack full of rocks, because if you're hiking, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah.
Right?
I think like that's the thing. Like, we're still, lots of people know what a life coach is now, but we're kind of still dealing with that mentality, like a coach, like almost like that sports coach that's like yelling at you, like,
Right.
Go faster, go further, do better, you know?
Yeah.
And
Suck it up!
Yeah, and that's not what life coaches do.
No.
It's a co-creative relationship. So they're working with you to help you transform your life. And I love that Kim has packages on her website that are broken down. Like, are you maybe not ready for the full life transformation? Just do a breakthrough session.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, just book a free session so that you can talk to her. And it's a good way to figure out where you are and if coaching is the right fit for you. But the sessions or the actual packages are broke down so that you can pick what you want. Do you want to just have that light bulb moment in your life? That's a breakthrough package. You know, do you need a little bit of movement, but you're not ready to totally change your life? Then that's that movement package, that middle one that you want to pick. And then the transform package, that's the one that you want the life transformation, and you need the help with that. And Kim, like, she has group packages as well. And we're planning and getting ready for her to do a really amazing workshop that's been put together by her mentor. And so I want to know, can you tell me a little bit about the workshop? So, you know, and we're kind of just in the beginning stages of that. So
yeah, it's called O Shift, and I love it because it speaks my language, and it's really about the same thing as my niche. It's about, are you ready, you know, to make change? Are you tired of listening to your own BS and ready to make that shift? And I love that she highlights the F in the word, because how many times do we say, oh shit? And really all we have to do is go, you know, put that little flag in our head, that detour that goes, I know I'm feeling negative right now and I need to feel it in the moment, but how can I shift my awareness into a more positive place? And I think that I love the O shift. I love the word. I think she's a genius. I love working with her, but I just love her personality because she's straightforward, to the point. And she's just really helped me own being myself, because this is totally new to me, being online. And I had a really hard time not being in person because I want to touch everybody. That's just the way I am. I want everybody to feel important, and I want everybody to feel special, and I want everybody to know that anything is possible.
So the workshop itself, it's so exciting because I feel like it's just what people need right now. And it's like, it looks like to me it's structured for different groups. So
absolutely,
how do you feel about going forward? Is it, who is the workshop for, as far as, like, is it groups, is it individuals? How is that going to look?
Well, honestly, I've just I've just been looking over it, and I think honestly it's good for everybody. I've just talked to Laura this morning about how many nurses are struggling right now. I can't even begin to explain how my heart breaks for them. And teachers, you know, they're stuck with students that, you know, this is so hard. Even myself not being able to go home and see my family, it's the little kids. It's the kids that don't understand this. We're adults. We don't have the same excuses as for bad behavior as kids do. So I think that there's 6 modules, and they're quite easy to get through, but they're very impactful. And there's some hands-on stuff that, you know, you can put your clients through so they can see right away how powerful it is to transform your life through shifting your awareness and your words, because your words are energy, right? I used to say, even in my old field, was if everybody realized that we're all energy, and if I was talking to a man, I talk about electricity, we're positive and negative. If you didn't have one hooked up, the light bulb wouldn't come on, right? Well, it's the same things in our body, right? So it's so important that we are in awareness of where we're at mentally. And today there is so much suicide. There's so much mental illness and so much dysfunction that I think now more than ever, we need the little things to make the big differences with people. And I think sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, I used to tell people, when you wake up in the morning, if you could catch yourself in the shower, I used to say, if you had $100 worth of energy, I guarantee you, before you got out the door and got started to work, you would be in the minus. So it's because you're in the shower and you're like soaping up and you're like stress. You're thinking about all the things of the day. But if you could get in there and think about all the positive ways you could change your behavior in that day, you could hopefully still have some money left when you get home at night to deal with your family and kids and enjoy the rest of your evening, right?
Imagine a little bit of money in your pocket.
Yeah. But that's kind of the way I look at everything, because everything is an exchange of energy, right? And I've had this vision since before COVID, that I was standing on top of a mountain and that I was speaking and nobody could hear me. And I would have this dream over and over again till a point where it was driving me crazy. And I've always tried to follow my path the best way I could and be as authentic within myself as possible. And I'm not perfect, but I've always known that what I came here to do and to be of purpose was the most important thing to me. And the rest was just a gift, the bonuses, right? So after a while, I would get creative. And at one point, I got so fed up with this dream that I was like, okay, I'm going to beat my dream, right? So I brought this big satellite up on the mountain with me. So I was speaking as if to say, why is no one listening to me? You know, I have a good story to tell. So finally, it would be that there was thousands of people coming. And the message I got was that this time was coming, and this time is now. This time is now, because it's the same reason why we're starting a podcasting channel, is we need to pull people up. And those of us that do feel like our energy is full and we have enough to expand it even more and to help other people, I think that, you know, we better all pull out that microphone and get that satellite dish going, because the world needs each and every one of us in a massive, massive way.
So, do you hear that? All you beautiful people out there and light workers, it's time to get in front of the camera, grab a microphone, whatever you need to do, because we need as much positivity as possible right now. And the vision, like, I see the vision for the future, but I know we're going to have to go through a lot of stuff to get there. So it's about continuing to hold that vision of what you want things to be and what you want to see. And we can get there and we can get through it together, but we do have to support each other. And I think that's one thing that's hard for a lot of people that are in this work for the right reasons. It's really hard for us to step up and speak our mind and be able to help those in need. And this is not about the dividing opinions right now. This is about people. We're all just people, and we all need help and support right now, and we need to support each other. And if you have a positive message, it's your job, it's your duty to share it.
Absolutely.
And so this is like us kind of stepping out in a sense to say, like, we're there, we can help you with what you need. I love the idea and how coaching works, because it gives you the power. And if you think about what it's like when you go to a counselor, or a therapist or a psychologist or somebody like that, you're actually giving away your power when you do that, because you're waiting for their expert opinion. This is not what coaching is. Coaching, it to me is transformative for people's lives, meaning that you actually find those skill sets within you and you're able to use them with confidence. And they're all there. We all have all the power we need.
Absolutely. And another way of looking at it is you're in the driver's seat. You can go wherever you want to go. And I could use lots of different analogies, but really you're the creator of your own life, and it's time to dream. It's time to think about what you really want and how you want to affect your children and your, I think that we've all been in this COVID fog, and I see people every day. It's people are so afraid, and I'm not saying don't do your due diligence. I absolutely do everything I'm meant to do, but I don't have fear. I don't have fear over catching COVID or the vaccine. I'm just doing it's the path of least resistance. And more so than anything, I'm doing what's best for other people, not just myself. Because for me, I'm not in that place of fear. I'm really quite okay with everything. I've been through so many things in my life that, I've been a little bit of a thrill seeker. I push the limits. I've done lots of fun things just because I wanted the experience of doing them. So, and I think that every emotion has something to teach us. So fear's not a terrible emotion, but it's not a good place to get stuck.
No, and like think about how fast you could. I look at this as like my practical side is like, this is so efficient and it's so logical that I would want somebody to help me, to coach me along the way, to help me see things differently, to help my own brain kind of open those pathways and change the behaviors myself, rather than have some top down like method of somebody saying, oh, here, you do this, you do this, you do this. And that coaching to me is like, it's the way, it's kind of like the way of the future where we're going, because
the new counseling,
right? Because every single person is in this kind of battle this year with inner power. So where does my inner power lie? And that's so huge right now, that we find our own inner power. And a coach is somebody who's beside you, leading you. They're beside you and they're saying, hey, why don't you look at this? Why don't you look at that? Why don't you look at this? They're not telling you what to do. You're the expert on your own self. So
I think one of the things that's really hit me hard lately in class, and even with talking with you, is that coaching is so powerful. And I was training with a coach for my ICF accreditation hours, and learning what it was like to be coach was as beneficial as anything I've done, any courses, certifications, because I could see the benefit in how the process works. So you're stuck in a thought and somebody asks you a question, and really all they're doing is putting the mirror on you or repeating it back to you. Very simple, very empowering, because I think listening is an art, and I don't think people get listen to. Laura and I are in a relationship where we talk all the time. We have coffee together in the morning and tea in the afternoon, and at night we talk about, we're always talking. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts in our relationship, is that we have all this time and space for connection and for talking about things like that. So I think that's a lost art. I think even in relationships, I see it that people aren't listening to their spouse. They're not listening to their kids, because everything is filling their head up and they can't get past it. So coaching is very much about pulling the person out, putting them in front of the mirror to say, okay, you don't like this? Why don't you like this? How could that look better? Or how could that serve you better? What, you don't like that job? Fine. What do you like? What works? So I think that the biggest part of it, and people don't get coaching unless they want coaching, because nobody pays for, a listening partner if they're not ready for transformation either. I don't think. And I think that's the beauty of even some of the things I've had to do to get my certification. I did some pro bono work, and always the times that I worked with people that they were paying, it was always more impactful because people take responsibility. right? Same thing as a treatment, same thing as a reading, I'm sure.
Oh,
When
yeah.
people pay for readings and then the person that didn't pay, they don't take accountability. So
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing about coaching is there's an accountability. You're paying to have somebody listen to you, and it's like they're putting one brick down at a time, so you have a place to step and to keep stepping. But it is not you as the coach. They're the professional. They know what they want. Matter of fact, I think they know the answer most of the time. They just haven't had the space to talk out loud and hear themselves speak.
Yeah. Some people, I think they just don't want to. Most of the time we do know the answer, but I don't think we want to know because it means then we do have to take action and change.
And that's uncomfortable.
And that's very uncomfortable. Change is super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
we're constantly doing that.
But I can't really think of anybody better than you to guide
Oh,
somebody through that process, because it takes a fair bit of patience and compassion to take somebody through that change, and that's what I feel like you have that all in spades and ready to offer.
Yeah.
I
love people.
Yeah, well, we both
Yeah,
love people,
love people.
and that's why we're gonna keep talking at you guys until you're probably sick of us.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
One thing we wanted to say, I'm so happy that Kim decided to do this today, because I do feel like coaching is the way. It's the way going forward, and it's really the only way for us to have true, consistent, permanent transformation in our life. So it's a perfect way. And if you need to contact her, like I said, I'll put her contact information in the description, but her website is soulsdesirecoaching. So she's really helping people to move their life around so they can experience life on their own terms. And I also, if you have any questions about the O-Shift workshop, if you're interested in taking the workshop, I want you to get in contact with Kimberley. And as I said, her email will be in the description. If you want to see more stuff like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and all my links are always in the description as well if you need to get in touch with me. And look forward to our podcast.
Yay!
We're going to fire that up in February.
So excited about that.
Super excited. And even if you have any ideas, anything you want us to talk about in the podcast, don't hesitate. Stick it in the comment section. Give this video a like, and we'll see you next month. I'll have another new person interview.
Let's rock 2022.
That's right. We got this.
That's right.